Hey, Alexa. Hey, Xander. It's Dad. Today, we're going to read Snail and the Well. Are you guys ready? Let's see what we got. Today's story is The Snail and the Well. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soup, and this is a tiny snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithers all over the rock and gazes at the sea and the ships in the dock. As she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is a deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. There are other snails in the flock who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wiggle, sit still, stay put." And the tiny snail sniffed and sighed and then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a slivery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shouting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlight sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to the towering icebergs and the far-off lands. With fiery mountains and golden sands. And these are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where wonderful fish and feathery fins and sharks with hideous tiny grins swim past the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And she gazed in the sky and the sea and land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. There are speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. And this is the whale laying beached in the bay, quick off the sand, back to the sea, cried the snail. I can't move on land, I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board as black as soup. And this is a snail with the itchy foot. A snail, the teacher turns pale. Look, says the children, it's leaving the trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a slivery trail saying, save the whale. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool. Squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming to the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back to the dock and a flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown and how have you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars in enormous waves, and how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling silver trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale head out on his tail and crawled snail after snail after snail. And then they sang to the sea as all was set sail on the tail of the great blue humpback whale. The end. Hey Alexa, Zan, hope you enjoyed the book. Daddy loves you. Hope to be home soon. Bye guys.